Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brill from Panda Soup. Today's topic is the hate on Jay-Z, the GOAT himself. Y'all need to stop that hate, man. It's an ongoing debate. It's never going to stop. But let me give you guys a criteria and why I think Jay is the GOAT. I'm going to be objective with this list, too. So I'm going to take the top 5 rappers that you typically see on everybody's list. You got Pac, Biggie, Jay, M, and Nas. So let's start with the criteria. Let's say there's 3 main things. 1, 2, 3. 3 main things that you have to have over other rappers to be the GOAT, in my opinion. Your impact on the culture in the game. Impact means everything when it comes to the GOAT debate. How did you affect the culture and the people in hip hop itself? So in this category, let's say if we rank them 1 through 10, Pac and Biggie would be 10s. And I say this because even in death, almost 30 years later, they're still in the mentions. And they still impact younger rappers and music and stuff like that. They would be 10s. And nobody on this list is going to be less than an 8 in impact. Same thing with penmanship. On the high scale, you would have like Nas and Eminem would be 10s. And then, nobody on this list is going to be less than 8. But then when you get to longevity, it starts to change. So let's get to it. So let's start this list off with the West Coast GOAT himself, Tupac Shakur. A lot of rappers, younger rappers that came after him, they will tell you, hey, there's nobody like Pac. I'm influenced by Pac. He's probably one of the most recognizable faces, period. There's nobody like him. There will never be another Pac. On Biggie,
ladies and gentlemen,
exact same thing. They are literally interchangeable. Pac, if you like Biggie, you like Biggie. They hit the notches together. So, impact, both of those guys get a 10. Go to the East Coast, go to the West Coast. Then you get into the next person on the list in the impact, and I would have to say Jay-Z. M would be close to Jay because M brought in a different revenue. He brought the white suburban kids and the others to the game, which was huge. He brought a lot of money to hip hop. So his impact is high, and he's a recognizable face all over the world. This is not a knock to him, but his caveat is that as well. I hate that that's the case for M. Like everybody else kind of eats from the same bucket, and M has 2 separate buckets. But then majority of his fish comes from that second bucket. So I would have to say M is below Hove. So I would give Jay the 9 after Pac and Biggie, and I would give M the 8. And I would also give Nas an 8 as well. And Nas, crazy cultural impact. A lot of rappers want to be like Nas. Legend. Everybody on this list is legend. I'm not knocking anybody. But when you really look at it, M is the highest selling artist, period. Jay just edges Nas out. Jay's cultural impact is just greater. So, you can take it with a grain of salt. You can put M at 9 and Jay at 8, but they all are in that category. But I would definitely put Jay above those 2. He just has done an incredible amount for the game over a crazy span of time. Next thing we have is penmanship. And like I said before, penmanship, lyrics, stuff like that, none of these guys is are below 8. Point blank period. None of them. But when it comes to that pen and those lyrics, Nas and M are the top of the top, is as good as you're gonna get. Let's just put it out there. And right under them, or you can even put him with them, would be Biggie. And Biggie, the only reason why I would put Nas and above Biggie is because that's what they're known for. That's their thing. Like, Biggie was more of a charisma guy. These guys are just bars. Like, that's lyrics. Point. Hey, you go to M to listen to that. You know, M got a lot of gimmick stuff, but Nas is just straight up lyrics. So if this was a lyrics list, yeah, you'll give it to I'll give it to Nas pretty much every time, personally, or Eminem interchangeably. And then you got Pac and Jay. Pac isn't really a bar for bar rapper. Let's get that out the way. That's not his style. Pac is a message rapper, a delivery rapper. He's going to come to you and make you feel his music. He is a great artist. He is a poet. He makes you think. He's it's crazy to say this. He's like conscious gangster, and his relatability is crazy high. Pac, when it comes to bar for bar, Biggie all day, but Pac has more timeless music. And that's my opinion. Pac has fucking classics after classics. You can still bump California Love. You can bump all that stuff to this day. Classic for classic, hip for hip. Pac, nobody can beat Pac. Nobody can beat Pac. Classic for classic. Nobody. I Get Around, California Love, Brenda's Got a Baby. Too much. Too many. And some of his classics are equal to 3 or 4 bass classics. That's how great he is. He's like Michael Jackson when it comes to rap. So it's where he's at on the lyrics list. Don't let that confuse you to what his music, his impact. That's why he's number 1 in the impact. So, and then Jay, come on. Jay's one of the craziest writers, period. Just in comparison to these guys, he kind of fall by the wayside, but he's an 8 for sure. Man, he dropped some of my favorite bars, period. And Jay actually performs better when he's with other rappers, when he's featured. I don't know why Jay does that, but it's like a competition for him. And he gotta take some steps back because of the Renegade and the Ether. Yeah, so I would put him at 5 when it comes to that. Maybe 4. Him and Pac are interchangeable because I think Jay is Jay's penmanship is a little bit better, but Pac's storytelling is better. So it just depends on what you want. And then this is the killer for a lot of the top guys: longevity. Jay has been on the top the longest. He's been in the top 10 of rappers pretty much his whole career. Jay just dropped 444 like 7 years ago, something like that. Went platinum or something. I don't know. But I know M just dropped something, went platinum too. But like I said, M has a different bucket. So that's his greatest strength is his greatest flaw. And that sucks for M, but I have to go with the caveat on that too. But like he has it. And then you got Nas. He's relevant, but not really. If Nas, M, and Jay drop the album today, people will be more checking for Jay than those two. And it's not just a knock on them. It's just how music is. Music goes in waves, and Jay has a way of always staying relevant. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he does. And then you have Pac and Biggie. This is where I start having to throw sixes and sevens out because, not saying they're irrelevant, they're always going to be relevant, but you know, it's been almost 30 years, you know. Um, Unfortunately, we lost them at a young age, and they can no longer continue to make music. So I have to grade accordingly. I would put them both at sixes because they'll always be relevant, but they can't drop again. So with that scaling, you'll see what I'm saying. So when you start to tally everything up, I think Jay edges everybody out just a little bit.